Hey guys, welcome back for this unboxing video, which is gonna be a G.I. Joe Classifieds unboxing video, as you would have probably seen by the thumbnail. I became familiar with the line of G.I. Joe Classified through Fred Hall Direct Editions channel, and yeah, he had some on a display, and they look pretty cool, like the detail on the figures. I did watch the cartoon back in the 80s, I think, maybe 90s, I think 80s. And I did have some toys back then, not a lot, but a couple. But these toys, these figures, they look really cool. Like, the detail is amazing. So I decided to get myself some. I got some Cobra Vipers now, and what was the more recent one? Oh yeah, the BATs, the bats. And I have to say that design-wise, costume-wise, I prefer the Cobra guys more than the G.I. Joe guys. Some of the G.I. Joe guys I think look really cool as well. So I might eventually get a hold of some of those as well. But for now, I'm basically focusing on Cobra figures because I just like the costume design more. So these two, this one came in today actually. I figured might as well combine it with this one, which I got in earlier this week. So these are both going to be Cobra guys. And this one with the original toy line had a certain feature which allowed him to change color when dipped in hot water. So if you know, you know which figure this is going to be. Both were ordered through AliExpress, so they might be knockoffs. I have no idea. I see a price, I like the figure, and I figured I'll just grab them. They look cool enough. I don't care if it's knockoff or not. But yeah, this guy is Zartan. The box is a little bit dent, but not a whole lot. It looks pretty alright actually. I mean, AliExpress never really sends in boxes. They just use this cushioning foam and a plastic around it, and that's how they send it in. So yeah, Zartan is the leader of the Dreadnoughts, which is sort of a mercenary type crew, and they team up with Cobra a lot. They are sort of part of Cobra actually, I guess. So yeah, he comes with a couple of accessories, as you can see, like a fake face, which you can put over the other face, I guess. And different hands, some guns, a knife, a backpack, which is also his masquerade kit, I guess. So yeah, let me just open this one up after I've given you guys a glimpse of the box art on the back side. The bottom is not that interesting side art. And yeah, it's figure number 23, as you can see. Now this is probably gonna make a lot of noise, so sorry about that. Oops, just totally popped out there. I guess this is kind of Dr. Mindbender type mask or something. Not entirely sure. I think Mindbender had a monocle, but I'm not really sure about that. So yeah, sorry about the noise, guys. This plastic just makes a whole lot of noise. I can't really help that. Sorry for your eardrums. So what's inside the package is something which I don't really know what to do with yet. So we have this gun, this handgun. Some little details on there. Look at this jungle knife thing. Can I get it in focus? Then we have a sort of a severed hand, I think, which you can probably plug on his belt. It's like some kind of souvenir Zartan collected, I guess. Looks kind of decomposing. I'm not sure about that. And what's this? Oh, that's like a Cobra face. Let me just see if I can get it in focus. There's a little Cobra face you can plug in there as well, I guess. So yeah, when I took it out, his little hood popped off, but that gives you you guys a good glimpse at his face sculpt. So I'll just leave it off for now, plug it back on later on. And just take a look at the details on the costume. It's pretty amazing, like the veins on the biceps and whatnot, and then the pants with all the little creases and folds in there. And yeah, as for movability, they have double joints on both the elbows and the knees, so that's really good for positioning wise. There's a little thigh swivel, a little bit of ankle movement as well, not that much, but good enough to give him sort of stable poses. And the arm flexibility, there's this little capper on his arm right here, but it goes like full 360. There's a little bicep swivel as well. And does it have the weird shoulder? No, it does seem to have like a normal ball joint on the shoulder, a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. No movement on the fingers, which is a little bit too bad. Just a little bit of movement would have been nice. Scarf coming, you can move his scarf around like the shoulder pads. They have some flexibility, so you can move his arms around. There is an ab crunch and a back crunch as well, a little bit. So yeah, very flexible figures. What I've noticed with the other figures is that the hip joints, like where the leg connects with the hip, you can't really move it all the way up. So that's a little bit of a, what do you call it? Like a little bit of movement compromise, I guess you would call it. He can't really get down on his make a squatting position like that. It doesn't go all the way, but regardless of that, there's a lot of movability options on these figures. Very cool. So as for the little hood thing, you can just pop it on there, make him look like the classic Zartan. And then the little face mask thing, does it click? Not sure if it's supposed to click. Maybe you just have to put the hood over it and that will keep it in place. I guess that's the way to go. So he does have different features than what he normally would have. Also a pretty nice sculpt. So yeah, you got, let me just see if I can zoom that in. So what you have is this face, the mask face, and then his true face underneath it. Some of my previous figures didn't have as much movement as this guy has on his neck. Like the skull can move around like all the way, pretty nice. And there's a little bit of movement on the neck as well. Not that much, but good enough to give him all kinds of looks. So yeah, it's a pretty cool figure. I thought it was pretty cool, and I just had to get it. And let me just put a gun in his hand. Oh yeah, and the fingers are a little bit flexible, so you can just move it backwards a little bit, just enough to have the trigger finger go inside the trigger part. At least that was possible for the other figures. I guess that's possible for this one as well. So yeah, with them being a little bit flexible, I guess you don't have to be scared of breaking the fingers off. Just see if what I can do with this real quick. Plug in the little knife. It's supposed to go out like this, I guess. And the little souvenir things, they go on this belt. There are actually 2 little holes on his belt, so you can plug them both in. Put the backpack on his back right here. Oh yeah, let me just open this up as well. So you can basically open his backpack, put a little fake face in there, and then you should be able to close it up again. Oh. Wouldn't be a Cerebral Comics unboxing video without me dropping anything. You got the little backpack thing here. Close it up and plug it in his back. And then put his little hood on. So yeah, this dude looks pretty menacing. I'm liking the design of this guy a lot. So yeah, they do have these little holes underneath the feet. So what I've done is I've 3D printed a little plate with some pins on there, so I'll be able to like keep it stable in a position I want to put it in, because gravity just doesn't allow you to put them in all positions you really want to put them in. So that's what the pins are for, the little pins. But yeah, I think this figure looks really cool, and I think it's time to move over to the next Cobra figure I got in. So let me just put this one right here. So yeah, what I've noticed with the previous G.I. Joe figures is that those joints are really tight, which is good because they don't fall through their knees, or they won't drop their arms when you put a heavy gun in it or whatever. But it does, like, you do have to force it a little bit. I'm always a little bit scared to break stuff. So you're just gonna have to sort that out for yourself if you ever decide to get one of these figures. But yeah, G.I. Joe Classifieds, whether they're the real thing or a knockoff, I highly recommend getting those figures if you're into G.I. Joe, because their designs are really cool, like really amazing. They look really good. So that's it for Zartan. And let me just get into this one. Now this package, it looks really thin, so I'm sort of expecting this one to be crushed a little bit more during the shipment, but we'll see once I've unpacked it. And like I said, this one is a Cobra figure as well. It did get squished, as you can see, so that's a risk with buying stuff through AliExpress. You're just gonna have to fill up the container all the way, so it did get some dents in here. But I've heard that, like for example, Amazon shipments policies aren't that good either, so it doesn't really matter if you get it through AliExpress or Amazon. You just have to be lucky that your stuff doesn't get crushed. So yeah, let me just take this one out. As you can see, it's the Cobra Commander. And I actually have another Cobra Commander coming my way. Now what I've seen on the pictures is that this one is a little bit low on the accessories. As you can see, like, it doesn't have that much accessories. I'm missing something here. Is that still in the box, or is that maybe in the packaging? It got lost here. Okay. So this was actually dropped out of the box, and are still inside the packaging material. So yeah, let me just show you guys the box. Let me just fold it out a little bit so it actually looks like a box. So I've managed to put it back into its original state somewhat. So this is figure number 6 of the line, as you can see right here, with the box art right there and the side art right here. Nothing spectacular on the bottom, and I think this one has the same back art as the other box does. They seem really similar. So yeah, once again, I don't know if they're real or knockoffs. I honestly don't know, and I don't care. Just letting you guys know about that. That I'm not sure whether it's the real thing or not. It does have a Hasbro logo, but that doesn't really say anything. So yeah, that's it for the box. Sorry about your ears, guys. Here we go. Okay, so it didn't show anything about that on the pictures, and I was sort of secretly hoping for this Cobra Commander figure to also have the hooded, the veil type head, so you could move it around, but obviously it does not. So maybe that's a different figure. I don't know. I'm not that familiar with the G.I. Joe Classifieds individual like figures and whatnot. So I just don't know about that. So what it does come with is this cape thing. You can't take it off, I don't think. So that's on the figure itself. It does have a knife. This one got a little bit bent, as you can see, but that should probably be fixable by just bending it back a little bit. Maybe you have to heat it up a little bit. I don't know. I'm not bothered with it, so guess it's sort of all right now. Not all the way, but that's fine. And he's got this this golden gun. So let me just give you guys a little zoom in on the details on that. It looks really detailed for the small type of weapons. And he got 2 alternative hands. One is a fist, and the other one's a fist with a pointy index finger. And you can just plug the hands he came with out of his socket and just plug these ones in. Let me just show you guys what it looks like when you plug in the weaponry. And I guess you can't have him hold both weapons at the same time, because this one is an opened hand and that won't be able to hold this. So yeah, I'm not sure if you're, I guess you're gonna have to make a choice between, is he gonna carry a gun or is he gonna carry the knife, which is also pretty cool, a Cobra scepter type thing, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, let me just plug this one in first and see what that looks like. I can get the fingers to move around a little bit. I don't know how else to put it. Or maybe this one is actually supposed to hold the knife. Scepter thing. I'm not so sure about that. Maybe the box art will tell me something about that. I don't think this is the way to go because it's way too loose. Just take the hand out. See if I can plug the gun in there. Because this is really a tight fit, so I'm not exactly sure how this is supposed to go. So I got him holding the gun now, but I don't think that it looks really good because it's pointing way too upwards, too much upwards. So I'm not so sure if I like this view, this look. And as you can see, the wrist is very loose. So because you can take it out, it does need some moving space. So it's very loose. You can just move it around like this. So you're either gonna have to fill that up with like clear nail polish or whatever, like put a little layer on it or something like that, or fill this up a little bit. I'm not so sure about that. So let me just take the gun out and see if I can plug the scepter knife thing in there. So yeah, when I was looking at the pictures, I already sort of had the feeling that this one was gonna disappoint me a little bit, because first off, I think he looks a little bit too scrawny for being the Cobra commander. Now the guy in the cartoon is pretty like cowardish and a little bit weaselly, so that sort of does fit him, but I would have preferred him to be a little bit more broader on the shoulders, I guess. Like if you compare him with Zartan, then Zartan is almost like twice as big on the shoulder part. So yeah, I have to say that he does look a little bit too scrawny for me, for my personal preference. He does have the weird shoulder joint thing, so that does allow you a lot of like flexibility, which is really cool. I'm not so sure about, I guess I would have preferred if he would have been able to hold like both weapons at the same time. And I'm not sure why they decided to not go for that, actually. I don't know. They could have easily given him another separate alternative hand thing and just give him this grip if you really want him to have this grip, like, I guess it's like a type look, but I would have preferred if I could just put both weapons in both hands, to be honest. And there's a little discrepancy going on with his flaps on his face. Like, it looks longer on the right than on the left. I don't know if that's by design or if that's just I don't know if they intended it to be like that, but I guess I would have preferred it if it was just the same size. But yeah, that's my personal preference. Having said that, I would have preferred the veil face anyways, because I really like that that look on this guy. The same for this figure as for Zartan. He's got an ab crunch. It's not that far. Let me see how that works exactly. Yeah, it's underneath his clothing. So how does this work? Yeah, okay, so he's got a little back crunch and some little bit of ab crunch, but it's covered underneath his clothing, so that's a little bit in the way, so he doesn't have the full range as Zartan does. Yeah, too bad about the guns. I don't know what they were going for with this figure. I don't know if that's different if you have the official ones. If any of you guys have the official ones, let me know what if I'm missing something, or if this is really a knockoff and the knockoff just doesn't have the full capacity or abilities that the official ones have. But yeah, that's a little bit of a letdown, I have to say. And the sculpt for the mask or his helmet thing, I don't know what to say about that. Maybe it's by design, I don't know. As for range and possibility options, it's the same as for Zartan. There's a lot of stuff possible, and this one actually does have the like the shoulder joint options. Can I take this off? I don't think I can. And then we have this little issue about the wrist being way too loose. I don't think it's an issue of pressing it in a little bit more, I don't think. No, it seems to be all the way it's supposed to go. But yeah, if they would have just made the figure a little bit more broader on his shoulders, I guess it would have looked a little bit more cooler. I do like the way the coloring of the figure, the little emblems, the belts. I mean, it looks pretty cool, but he just looks a little bit too scrawny. I'm thinking. And yeah, I guess that's it for the Cobra Commander. I'm really curious about the other Cobra Commander I have going in. If I'm gonna be more happy with that one or be as disappointed with that one as I'm with this one. And disappointment is a really big exaggeration because I think he looks pretty cool, but there's just certain things which I would have preferred to see differently with this figure. So yeah, Zartan is the big winner between the two of these. And yeah, I guess that's it for this unboxing video. I'm gonna put them in different positionings, of course, have that at the end of this unboxing video. A couple of pictures with different poses and whatnot. So you guys can enjoy that as well. And I want to thank you guys for joining in with this unboxing video. And see you guys for the next one. Later!